Ma nishtada halayla hazeh mikol halelot, mikol halelot. How is this night different from all other nights? It's a question that's sitting with me in a very different way right now as we approach Passover. And I'm sure it's sitting with you in a different way because it feels like every day, every night is different. If you're like me, you're spending a lot of time online for various reasons, but some of it is to keep up on the ever-changing news. And it's anxiety-producing. It is tough to stay present with what's happening in the world right now and also stay present with ourselves and with our families, our kids. How can we stay present with the news while also running a school out of our home and thinking about the groceries and keeping concerned about all of the tikkun olam issues that we were paying attention to before we were in isolation? There's so many things to worry about. How can we, in this time, hold on to the truth of what's happening in front of us, but also noticing that there are still blessings that are happening? And I want to introduce my good friend here, the kapras, aka parsley, that our first grade class was growing this year in preparation for Passover. And I want to let all of our first graders know that I have all 4 plants here at my house with me. And I'm taking good care of them. And a special shout out to the 6th grade girls who helped keep them alive on Tuesdays. What might the kapras have to teach us about this ability to stay present with the reality of the world, but also to notice blessing in our lives? So first, you got to know a little bit about the kapras. The kapras is, it comes from the Greek word karpos, which means fruit of the soil. And the Seder itself is modeled after the Greek symposium meals where people would gather and drink lots of wine and relax, and there was singing and there was dancing and intellectual discussion, and the Seder is modeled after that. But symbolically, the kapras has a couple of meanings, of course, because this is the rabbis we're talking about, so it can't just mean one thing. The shoots of it coming out of the ground represent the birth, the emergence of a people known as Israel onto the world stage. And also it symbolizes literal rebirth of nature and spring. And what's interesting is we take this hopeful symbol, this symbol of blessing, and we dip it. We dip it in salt water to remind us of the tears. And so the kapras in the Seder is showing us that we simultaneously experience rebirth and tears at the same time. And yet we're called to try to focus on how there is still blessing during this time. So my challenge for all of us is how not to be weighed down by the news, how not to be terribly overburdened by what's happening. And so I encourage you to start a blessing jar at your house, and each day spend some time writing at least one blessing that happened to you and put it in your jar. Maybe do it as a family. Maybe each week you're pulling them out, you're reading them, all the good blessings. Maybe you're saving them till summertime or a couple weeks from now and you'll look back. But I encourage you to spend some time each day thinking about something good that happened. May you be well.